Mrs. Brady.
But I know he wanted you to have these flowers.
Now, Stephen King's Sleepwalkers is a 1992 horror movie that tells the story of a young woman who must fight for survival against an ancient race of vampiric cat-like creatures who feeds off the life force of virgins.
Here are 5 reasons you should watch this movie.
Reason number 1, Sleepwalkers. Now, the movie first began with some reading exposition, letting us know exactly what sleepwalkers are and how they came about. We're introduced to a crime scene where the mother and son duo of Mary and Charles Brady, also known as the Brodies, have escaped to a new location after leaving their previous home with tons of mutilated cats and even a little girl who have been killed by them. Reason number 2, the virgin.
Charles Brady.
Thanks for the help, Charles Brady.
We find out that they've moved to California and they have their eyes set on starting over, continuing to feed off virgins unexpectedly. But we learned a bit more about them and that they share an incestuous relationship, presumably because they are the only ones left of their kind. And Mary, though she is Charles's mom, is very jealous of any girls he meets. He must continue to meet and feed on virgins because their survival depends on it. But about this time, Charles, being the new kid in school, meets and impresses the good girl, Tanya Simpson. And they both hit it off very quickly as it's an instant attraction.
Thanks. See you in class.
Reason number 3, cats. When not trying to charm virgin girls, we learn that Charles is not the good guy he attempts to be. In fact, he holds no regard for human life as he kills anyone who gets in his way of either feeding or gets too close to finding out his real identity. For example, he tries to kill a child while getting off at the bus stop. He kills his teacher who realizes he's using an alias, and he even kills a police officer who tries to run him down for speed. But as a sleepwalker, they are unstoppable. They are more durable than humans and has the power of telekinesis and the ability to cast illusions. But the only saving grace for humanity is they are definitely afraid of and weak to cats. Reason number 4, master plan.
What about the girl?
Wasn't the right time. Tomorrow.
Now, while living undercover in California, Charles must find a virgin to feed from so he can feed his mother. And so far, his mom is starving. But at the same time, the natural conclusion is to drain the life force from Tanya. But unlike most of his victims, Charles liked Tanya. So now he must choose between a starving mom and the girl of his dreams.
Sorry.
Reason number 5, plan B. Now, Charles ultimately chooses his mom and the survival of his race over Tanya. But for his efforts, he gets severely injured near death. But without a way to feed and with a son who's dying, Mary must do the job herself. And yes, she's smarter, more cunning, and more ruthless than Charles. And everyone around her is in danger, including Tanya and her parents.
There's blood everywhere!
Now, in the end, Sleepwalkers was a blast. This movie was not only a great story and has tons of blood and action, it's also a who's who among filmmakers. So expect to see a lot of cameos. Now, this movie is a mix of body horror, creature feature, and sci-fi mixed all into one. And Madchen Amick and Krige are cherries on top. Now, talking about absolute babes, yes. So if you like Egyptian cat people hunting virgins, a copious amount of filmmaker cameos, a young hot Madchen Amick, a young hot Krige, and Krige murdering a police force, then 1992's Sleepwalkers is your movie. So the best scene in this movie is without a doubt when Krige's character Mary Brady decides to throw caution to the wind and pulls off a home invasion. I mean, she is so awesome in this scene that she pulls it off even with the police present. And she starts by taking them out first, then attacks Tanya and Tanya's parents, ultimately knocking Tanya out. But as a cop pulls up and trying to stop her, she goes absolutely berserk on him and his crew. But the worst scene in this movie is the incest scene. Now, there were several incestuous scenes. I know it was played to be sexy, but I just don't think mom and son sex scenes are all that affectionate, and I don't care who writes it. So, have you seen 1992 Sleepwalkers? If so, what did you think?
And until next time, when CEDtalks horror.